luckily for them, they have plenty of games and plenty of series ahead to start to match this NRG squad. But I think it really does start by limiting the chances on the ball for NRG, and Space Station did it at the end of that game.
And we're seeing a dribble now. Garrett cutting off the pass to the mid.
Did an excellent job of it pretty much the whole back half of that previous game. Definitely a change in approach, right? It's that kind of just chuck it down to the other end of the field and then make sure that instead of NRG closing the gaps to the challenges, it's you guys. And we're more than happy to stick that ball in that NRG corner because, like you pointed out, James, you know, it really was NRG having to work overtime as they get tied up again on the 2-on-2 transition. One tried to cut down the challenge angle here. Is Squishy just trying to get in the way, and I mean, Garrett G's kind of just frozen with Reddle's approach there. He can't get a good line on that ball.
And that was a smart play from Reynolds as well. As soon as he lost control of the ball, what he's doing is getting out ahead of the ball, cutting off Garrett's approach, and it worked. Garrett was frozen there for a moment, and that opened up the space that was required to get that goal. Nice first touch from Reynolds. Made Justin go for it. That shot, it's on target. NRG will get a quick response.
Reciprocal. Oh, he's stealing corner boost, and Arsenal's technically the third man back there. And he just got surprised with how strong that touch came off. So Sipical trying to get aggressive and start that boost steal game ends up throwing his teammate kind of out in no man's land at just the wrong time.
It's surprising too because Space Station are normally pretty conservative with their third man. They keep them deep a lot of plays and to catch a lot of those long shots from the far side. But right, as you said, taking the boost away, trying to get aggressive, comes back to bite him.
I don't think anyone was expecting Justin to be able to go from his backboard and we'll see a demo right into a goal.
Well, it doesn't matter if you gave one up if you're going to take it right back. And there's Reddles out of the corner. Again. Such great understanding. It's actually very hard for Reddles there to understand the timing of when Justin's going to go for that, right? You kind of just have this ingrained sense of, okay, the ball's going to bounce off that corner and it's going to be around this time. And it's like not looking at the ball and still being able to understand the line the defender's going to take. Oh, it's incredible. And what a challenge. Oh, it's no the bar.
Oh, and Garrett missed. Oh, he slow played it. Arsenal slowed down the play, was trying to get the change up, which was the right call, but he put it high.
Well, Arsenal's was the most understandable, but the one from Reynolds, I don't know, panic shot, got too far over it. Garrett's trying to work his magic in the box now. Wow. And Reynolds has to come save the day. That one pokes off him again, comes out to Garrett, and it's pinched away.
Oh my God.
Chaos on both sides of the field, and nobody comes up with a goal.
The circus there for a moment. If Garrett gets that flip reset, though, achieved, you saw him going for it. Yeah. He's probably scoring.
Yeah, but he still turned it into a great effort by not getting it with that hard chip to the left. It was just now it was NRG's turn to poke it off the bar a couple times as Reddle's going to cut that one off, diving back from the midfield line. That was an interesting couple of sequences, to say the least.
And Squishy out of boost. Got help from Garrett. Arsenal trying to keep the pressure on Garrett with the demo on the last man, and Justin skipped it off the post.
The instant shot as well almost worked out. This one's just going to get in though. Arsenal will find the transition, catch him on the counterattack, and Space Station up by 2.
RNG.
Had to be perfect on that.
Exactly. Had to be perfect. I mean, it's all about the lead because Squishy's the one trying to get there and jam that ball in the Space Station half and try and get that type of pressure going at the midfield line. But when you don't make any contact on the ball, you leave yourself open to that strong counterattack, and it's all dependent on how that player that's downfield receives it. And Ellis did so with great effect.
And what a valuable third man Sipical proves to be time and time again. He's had these passes from the back that have set up Arsenal for a pair of wonderful counterattack goals. But the passes need to be perfect, and they have been.
Reynolds as well getting more and more involved, I feel like, on the offense, whether it's on the ball or off it. We talked about his importance in the NV series. He's coming alive here against NRG, getting a lot of demos, disrupting that defense, and allowing Space Station to get on the attack.
But you saw Garrett giving up that ball early. The demo bought him some time. Another demo from Garrett. Another demo from Garrett, going for the extermination. Ball.
Typical actually very smart there with that double demo coming through. He had to... Oh, no, another bump. Oh, my goodness, they still can't score. Oh, what do you got to do to buy a goal, man?
We'll see if they can do it here. Justin will go for another demo. NRG cranking up the demos to 11.
I don't even know if that last one was on purpose. It looked like Reynolds just drove right into him, but still a minute left to play.
Jeez,
another demo from just hunting down the Space Station players now, but that's a bump on Garrett. No one there to capitalize, presumably because of all the disruption from NRG. Space Station couldn't even get downfield, but hold on a second. Sipical's trying to catch out Justin, and he almost does so.
Oh, nice
Space Station, that's a great pass to Sipical, but couldn't get around it.
And they had NRG dead there on the goal line, to be quite honest. They were all looking at that person from the right-hand side of the pitch and totally lost track of the guy waiting on the opposite end. And thankfully, redirect never came through. NRG, slim chance here. 2 to find with 30 seconds, and Space Station playing great defense.
Space Station shutting down opportunity after opportunity. That's a nice corner bounce, though. Almost got a pull shot. This time using Space Station. Time ticking away and a long clear. Squishy will pop it up, go for it himself. And these final seconds will tick away. Space Station had a bit of a slow start, but they are anything but slow right now.
And they, again, have slowly been cranking it up. I truly believe they just needed a couple calibration games to figure out what NRG are going to be throwing at them. And to be fair, I think NRG clearly adapted to something because they started demoing Space Station quite a bit, and I think that started to pay off. Unfortunately, it was too little too late. A couple of goal line stands from Space Station keep them in it here in this game.
And that sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it, Achieves? A couple of goal line stands from Space Station keeping them in it.
Never heard that before, ever. But this was an excellent turnaround from Space Station. You know, you weren't like super sold on their game 3 win, but then they come back in here and are able to execute pretty much the same game plan in game 4 as well. You gotta love it, to be honest. Everyone got a little bit lucky with everyone hitting it off the crossbar there in the middle of that game, but Sipical, Arsenal, and Reynolds, talk about converting when NRG gives you just that little bit of space. I mean, it's not like NRG was making huge glaring mistakes per se. Probably the worst one was Squishy going up as trying to get that aggressive block as that third man. And even still, if that counterattack wasn't perfect, RLCS probably would have had a chance to save it. So Space Station's having to execute to turn in a lot of these goals.
In those first couple games when NRG was able to pull down the wins, I think we highlighted the fact that Reynolds, he wasn't really showing up in those first few games. And these last 2, he has been such a huge part of them.
Yeah, it's amazing how big of a factor he is on this team, because I think a lot of credit goes over to Arsenal and Sipical because of what they can do on the ball. And Reynolds is certainly capable of that, but his off-the-ball work is what creates a lot of those opportunities for Arsenal and Sipical to have those moments.
And, you know, when you're an Arsenal and you love to dribble, you love to go for fakes, you're Sipical, you love going for those shots, the double taps off the backboard. Space is invaluable. And that is what Reynolds brings. Those demos and his aggression open up space for them to work. Squishy will leave that, taking a scenic route around that ball.
I think he just noticed that Space Station was rotating through the back, and if Garrett G took a line to that ball, he was going to get demoed. And if Squishy rotated out, then Space Station was going to have a free counterattack. So Squishy, I think, was just trying to, in an instant, try and reposition himself to have a second look at that ball.
Justin brings it up. Garrett beaten by Reynolds in the corner. A demo into a clear. Squishy working with what he had. And another tight start to the game. And we've seen so far in this series how neck and neck it can be. These periods of time where you have the ebb and flow, the push and pull. Each team wrestling for that position. Right now, Space Station are closing in on the pin. NRG locked down in their half, but a demo could open up some space for Justin. Justin
here he comes,
tapping it out. Arsenal gets beat. You thought he did for a moment there, Cheats.
It's close. And Garrett G trying to chip one off the wheels, and no follow through from NRG. Trying to be perhaps a little more conservative after giving up a couple counterattacks in the previous game. And still neck and neck, and I honestly, you wouldn't expect anything different. Justin trying to squeeze one into a real tight window, and Squishy's going to come through as Space Station, they get caught in the unavoidable trap of you have to dribble it across the net, and there's only one angle you can take.
That was a smart challenge from Squishy. Kind of reading that play is a little chaotic coming off the post. Ball's getting behind that last defender in Space Station, but still able to carve it out. Great challenge from Squishy to at least make sure that one was going to pinch into the net if a Space Station player got a piece of it. NRG, I was about to say, you know, Space Station are a team that if they are able to play at their pace of play, it's over for the opposition. And I felt like in this game, they have been playing at the Space Station pace of play, and NRG have struggled to keep a hold of things. But NRG create a little bit of chaos and capitalize there.
And we saw that in the G2 series. NRG, they can make those adjustments, even mid-game.
Oh,
that
no.
light touch, but it might be enough to keep the ball out of the net. Squishy scoring this one.
Oh, no. Was this Reddles or Arsenal?
Oh, Arsenal around Reddles.
I knew I needed a second
That
look.
hurts. That hurts.
Disappointing, to say the least.
Well, if you're Arsenal, you know, we've been in these situations before when you're playing where you got ball cam on. You can't tell if anyone's behind you. You're looking over your shoulder. And if it's such a bang play. Yeah, it's a bang play. Arsenal probably thought he was the last one back.
And it's just panic too. I mean, even with comms and everything else, just the panic of knowing NRG breathing down your neck there, having to make that save. I mean, it's just, that's a tough situation.
Even if you know Reddles is behind you, you saw Garrett G go right past you and you think the demo's coming through and you got to get back. It's tough spot for sure.
Justin backwards, hitting it up. Oh, did he get the flip reset?
He's got him.
Oh my goodness.
The World Championship or the North American Championship all on the line. And he's pulling out new tricks.
You hit him with that one? Come on, man. What are you supposed to do?
Just laying him out flat on the mat right there in front of his own net. What a way to put on a show to score your third goal. And I said it, man. I felt like Justin, he was playing so good in those first few games. He went a little quiet in that Space Station win. But all of a sudden coming alive, that was a missed shot there from Garrett. That one surely would have gone in. For NRG, a healthy cushion here at 3 goals.
I feel like Justin, you know, so many times champion in North America, you know, during their World Championship win in Spain, you know, he might have felt a little bit snubbed about not getting the MVP. And, you know, I think he's really just saying, no one's taking it away from me this time.
Oh, he almost did it again. He really likes getting that little pop and then popping it over the next, baiting in that defender, and then just being so fast to pop it up over them.
Yeah, and he's using air roll to perfection, able to jump and then immediately get back down to the ground. Squishy out of boost, but going makes the defense panic. Garrett, center ball, and you see Arsenal and Sypical both jumping for it. Arsenal at his good touch. He did get the ball out into a dangerous spot, but Garrett first there. Reddles with a wave dash will catch it on the dribble. Can't get it past Squishy. And the final seconds tick away. NRG, you know, in this series, this is a tug of war. This is a tug of war. 2 games to NRG. Space Station answers back. And now NRG will stop the momentum for Space Station and move to series point.
That was fantastic work there from Justin to score that 3rd goal. I know NRG were already up by 2 goals. Squishy had done great to confirm a lot of attempts on net there for NRG, but the work from NRG here and Justin in particular is just on another level. And NRG, you know, we talked about Space Station being able to play their game and their pace. This was the NRG pace, and you can see the difference.
Tactical timeout being called for Space Station, and Achieves, you know, what do you think Chrome is saying right now? What do you think Space Station's trying to do?
Well, you know, if you're Chrome, I think if you're Space Station, you know, your only real thing is you can't afford to be as aggressive with that second man. I think you're actually better off giving that little bit of extra space to NRG on transition if you have 2 people to play defense. I think that's the adjustment I would make, because you don't want to put anybody in the one-on-one against anybody on NRG, I don't think. So I think that Space Station's feeling good about not particularly feeling the physical effects. Even with NRG getting a lot of those demos somewhere in the series, it never really felt like it was making too much of a difference. It opened up a couple opportunities, but in that last game wasn't really a factor. So you're feeling confident in that regard. And you're feeling like you can still generate chances. It's just a matter of that challenge to stall that NRG counterattack. And a little more stability on the defensive end, I think, is going to go a long way.
And Corelli, you know, we kind of saw at the beginning when NRG had that space, we were seeing solo plays up high in the air. And we did see Space Station make some adjustments, but this is, like Garrett said in his interview, with this best of set, it's all about those adjustments and how teams will tweak their play to get past their opponent. And Space Station and NRG, that's proving to be true, even in this series so far.
And, you know, I don't know how deep to dig into this, but there was a lot of talk between Chrome and Sypical there in the beginning when we got that shot, you know, that third man. So talking a lot about defense there and what Space Station can do to maybe, you know, in my eyes, push up that line a little bit to make sure that NRG doesn't have that free space. I mean, Justin has been able to run around your defense quite a bit in this series.
See, that shows the difference between Corelli and me. I'll go play passive if he'll go play aggressive.
Well, it's tough to tell. You know, it's if you believe in your defense, you can go for the counters. But Garrett G is all offense.
Well, unlucky. Everyone on Space Station in the same corner as Reddles just gets a poke off the corner and has no follow-up, so everyone's kind of like, excuse me, pardon me, gotta get out of your way. And Garrett G's like, thank you very much. That's a free goal.
Through the dance floor. Garrett G dunking everybody out there.
And not the way you want to start coming out of a tactical timeout, instantly giving up the first goal here. See Sypical maybe make amends as he almost got that NRG last man. And Space Station, we want to see those changes, but NRG just might not even let them into the game at this point.
And that was such an important goal as well. I mean, it wasn't the most beautiful goals, but this is for that first series. Demo on the back line. Reddles doing some work.
Yep, score it.
And there's the pass.
Oh,
just off.
And what can you say? I mean, that one's got to be put on target. Well executed there on the pass. Good contact on the ball. Just not on target. Space Station, they're going to get only a few of those. You've got to make them dangerous.
It's the idea from Reddles as well, right? He's the one who gets that demo on the third man. You see two players from NRG push up on offense. It's not about being conservative. It's about trying to have that support. And so Reddles gets that demo on the third man, wheels right back up the wall, says, hit me, I'm here. And Space Station hits the execution. It's just the shot, such a high degree of difficulty. Yeah, it's open, but it's happening at such a high speed. You got to be perfect.
And you got to power through the demo and then be ready to take that shot. A lot of adjustments required for that play. See the dribble coming out from Arsenal, waiting to go airborne. Justin will tip it back. You see Reddles in reverse. But he does win it by Garrett. Doing work again. Wow. Reddles, the tip of the spear, was almost able to find that fatal blow.
I can't believe he was able to navigate into the NRG box there so easily. NRG did not fill in that gap that Garrett left. That's a good shot from Squishy, and Sypical is able to turn it away.
Arsenal moves upfield. That was an important challenge there from Reddles. They're still not out of the woods just yet. Squishy going for the pinch in the corner. Kicks out to Garrett. Garrett, corner pass to himself, wave dashing along the wall. Justin quickly into support.
Oh, boy.
And you see Squishy, the hesitation there. Wasn't quite sure if he'd beat Arsenal to the ball. Reddles up against Justin. It's bouncing for Garrett. Will boom it to the corner. It bounces down. Back to Garrett, and he couldn't get the shot. If he connects, that could have been the second for NRG.
Whoa. Reddles again with the demo as well. He's going to put the pressure on Garrett G. And Reddles, oh, you said it, James, tip of the spear. He's putting the pressure on NRG. And Corelli, you mentioned it earlier in the series as well, the off-ball play, but nobody cares about that. Squishy's scoring shots from the corner.
Oh, and you see that the play here from Arsenal, he had only one pad. He's got Garrett G zooming in, and there was a bit of panic. And he put that ball out there.
And surely Arsenal did not mean to just play that into the corner and to bounce directly out towards the middle. I'm wondering, because it looked like he tried to pick it up. He kind of got smushed under the ball. So a poor touch.
Like he was trying to make the touch and get the boost steal.
Yeah.
Trying to do too much there.
He was trying to jump with the ball, and it just didn't get. That's a fake, though. And a good shot here from Reynolds. Will get through. Space Station on the board.
Felt this one was going to happen as soon as you see Garrett G get punched off that ball. The demo comes through on the goal line as well, and Garrett G trying to recover gets faked out as well, and Squishy's just like, guys, I don't want to look at this shot coming my way because it's Reynolds, and he put a bomb in the top left.
The overpower shot. Blasted it. Nice first touch from Garrett. Second touch going for the 50. It's off the ceiling and down. Justin will get a piece of it. Reynolds has Sipical upfield. Reynolds will head it back. Garrett with full boost now. Flip reset. Fakes it by Arsenal. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, he's not Justin. He dropped it.
You were holding your breath for a moment there. Ended up not working out too well for NRG. Justin up. Has Squishy upfield. Rebound opportunity. It's bouncing high. Arsenal quickly past Garrett. Justin up high. Now on the wall waiting. Arsenal tips that out to Reynolds, who hits it high. Reynolds, good touch around Squishy. Garrett has to be good off the backboard. A nice little touch from Squishy. That was important to get it by the midfield setup for SSG.
Look at Reynolds. He's still, it's that off-ball work
just
that you mentioned. You can't go close the gap on my team. You're going to have to go around me first, and Arsenal's trying to score it. Garrett G is going to scheme it off the wall. Justin needs to find some distance here as Arsenal trying to put the pressure on Garrett G. And again, NRG forced to just dump the ball away. SSG likely with the last couple of chances here.
First series coming down to these final seconds. Space Station has to keep it airborne. Reynolds will pop it. Sipical off the side. He keeps it alive. Taking it up the wall. Arsenal circling. Arsenal. And that will touch NRG. Escape with the series win.
Wow. And NRG, they played well in the beginning, had to adjust to what Space Station was throwing at them here and came out with a good game plan. They got chased around a little bit by Reynolds, but in the end come out on top. Good execution on a lot of these plays, especially when Space Station were throwing some rockets here in this game at the NRG side. A good using that point man downfield from Space Station just didn't come up with the goals they expected. Look at the shots. 8 shots for Space Station, but only 1 goal.
And there were rockets on both sides. I mean, you see these chances where the defense is barely tipping it. The average speed of this ball, it's got to be up there compared to what you normally see.
Average shot miles per hour, 70 plus. We're pretty used to about 60 from just about anywhere. But you're right. They're absolutely smacking it when they're going for the net. And you have to be quite honest. Everyone's playing some stingy defense. Even that shot from Squishy, that second goal. I mean, Sipical's got a lot of that net locked down, and it all mostly came down to placement. And even still, even if it's placed well, it still needs to have the power to make sure to beat anyone who can come back through. And NRG's having to work hard. They get 4. But they're having to work real hard. Space Station's not making it easy.
They really aren't. And it's coming down to those little adjustments. And you're seeing a lot of looks from NRG. You're seeing the solo plays, the passing plays, the demos. And Space Station, they made adjustments on their own. So you can tell that this is going to be a battle. So NRG, they end up barely getting through those final seconds to close out the series, but they get it nonetheless. 1 series away now from claiming complete victory for the North American region. Will Space Station force that 3rd series, or will NRG take all the marbles? We'll find out after the break.